I still remember the moment I stumbled upon that Hilton hotel keycard. It was tucked deep inside my wife's purse, almost hidden under a pile of receipts and makeup items. At first, I didn't think much of it, but something about the way it was buried felt suspicious. We hadn't stayed at a hotel recently, and she hadn't mentioned anything about a business trip or meeting. My heart sank as I held the card in my hand, realizing this was no accident. That night, I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I waited. I wanted to be sure before saying anything. My instincts told me to dig deeper, and so I checked the dates on her credit card statements. There it was, charges for dinners, wine, and room service at the same Hilton. She had been living a double life right under my nose. The next morning, I asked her casually if she had been anywhere interesting lately. She smiled and shook her head, pretending everything was normal. The lies slipped off her tongue so easily that I felt both disgusted and enraged. That was when I knew I couldn't simply ignore it. I had to take my revenge, but not in the way she expected. I booked myself a room at the very same Hilton, using the keycard I had found as leverage. I wanted to catch her red-handed. 2 nights later, I sat in the hotel lobby, watching the entrance carefully. My stomach was twisted in knots, but I was determined. Sure enough, I saw her walk in, dressed beautifully, her face glowing in a way I hadn't seen in months, but it wasn't for me. A tall man joined her, and they laughed like teenagers in love. I followed them discreetly to the elevator, heart pounding with fury. When they disappeared into a room, I didn't go after them immediately. Instead, I waited until the next morning. With the keycard, I entered their room while they were out at breakfast. I took pictures of everything, her clothes scattered, his things mixed with hers, the bed unmade. Evidence, undeniable and clear. But I wasn't finished. I packed all her belongings neatly into a suitcase and left it at the front desk with a note. "Since you like staying here so much, don't bother coming home." Then I returned to our house and locked the doors behind me. When she arrived later that day, she found herself locked out, forced to face the reality of her betrayal. She called me frantically, crying, begging for a chance to explain. But I didn't answer. I had already sent the pictures to her family, her closest friends, and even her boss. Her perfect little world shattered in an instant. The same mask she wore so confidently in front of everyone crumbled because of her own choices. Days later, she finally managed to speak to me. She accused me of being cruel, of humiliating her. I reminded her that she had been cruel first, sneaking around, lying, and breaking the vows we made. I told her there was no marriage left to save, and I meant every word. Her lover didn't stay by her side for long. Once the truth spread, he vanished, leaving her alone to face the consequences. She tried to come back to me, saying she made a mistake, but I had already made peace with the idea of living without her. The trust was gone, and without trust, love cannot survive. At first, I thought revenge would heal me completely. And while it didn't erase the pain, it gave me closure. I had turned the tables, exposed her lies, and walked away with my dignity intact. She was left with nothing but regret, and I carried with me the strength of knowing I refused to be her fool any longer. In the weeks that followed, I began focusing on myself, my work, my friends, and rebuilding the life she had tried to destroy. Slowly, the weight lifted from my chest. Freedom felt strange, but it was better than living with deceit. She still tries to contact me sometimes, but now I ignore her. The man she betrayed is gone, and in his place is someone stronger, wiser, and unwilling to settle for anything less than honesty. And so, the Hilton keycard that once shattered my heart ended up being the key to my freedom. It unlocked the truth, exposed the lies, and gave me the courage to take back my life.